All right, what's going on, everybody? We're gonna jump on here to start knocking out some tires here, right? So the idea is for us to be using revolve, okay? So we're gonna take the section view of this, and I'm gonna zoom in a lot on this drawing. We're gonna have to use a bunch of drawings, but this is why engineers get paid the big bucks, right? So when we look at this, we see that we have a diameter of 39.2. And then there's these two different features here, right? So you have 14.6, which represents the amount of space that's cut out of the tire. What I mean by that is this is hollow, sort of, right? And it's cut in. And then in addition, we can see that here we have 39.2 and 35.2, meaning there is a thickness of 4 millimeters right there, right? So we're going to have to compare multiple views, right? 39.2 is consistent with our diameter, and then our width of the tire is 15.4. We're going to have to refer back to this a few different ways, but I like to just kind of refer this to like an eye, all right? So you can do this a few different ways. You can revolve this as a solid and cut out this the 3 millimeter hole, or you can do this and cut it as you revolve. Okay, some of you aren't going to understand what I'm talking about, but you will once you start spinning it. Okay, so brand new part, we're going to start at the front view. So I'm going to take a sketch, go at the front. Okay. In short, we're trying to basically draw an eye. We're going to have to fix this quite a bit, but if you think of an eye that we're going to eventually spin it around, I'm going to do it without dimensions first, and then we'll add the dimensions because they're going to be very important for this. Right? So, in short, what I want to do is take this eye, right, and the revolve function. If I take this feature and I go around this line, right, there's the general tire that I'm looking for. Okay, obviously we want these dimensions and not the random ones that I just provided, but a high level, that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so we know that this is 39.2, this is 14.6, this is 17.6, right? So that difference is the space that's missing. Also see that there's no dimension to the center line, right? But we do know that the thickness in the middle has to be the largest is 6, right? So that means 3 on either side. Okay, so you can see how multi-view drawings are becoming really, really important. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to head back to this eye that I just constructed. And then we just start dimensioning, right? First, if we think about the constraints here, instead of me redoing things, I'm gonna make all of these flat and I'm gonna make all of these vertical. This is so I am actually dimensioning things in their proper direction, right? Now I'm gonna start jumping into the actual width, the actual dimensions. 15.4 is the width of the tire. That's right here, right? So I'm going to take this line and I'm going to say, hey, I want you to be 15.4 millimeters. If you did 15, it's fine, but 15.4 is what's on the drawing. Okay, and then in addition, I want this line to be 15.4, right? Because that thickness should stay the same. Okay, up top here, we have 14.6. So from this piece to this piece, that's 14.6. So let's go dimension. We're going to have to do this twice. From here to here, I want this to be 14.6. Oh, what happened? It went all crazy. Did I do something wrong? No, we just need to fix some stuff. 14.6, right? Once I do it twice, this now gets dimensioned. If I look at this thickness, right, I know that that's 4.8. Well, how am I going to figure out what that is? Well, this thickness is shown on this drawing because that's 39.2 and that's 35.4, meaning that should be 4 millimeters, right? It's not hard math, but you are going to have to do some math here, okay? The next step depends on whether you want to revolve around an additional line and cut out, or if you want to cut out the center circle after, right? If you want to cut this hole where the diameter goes in after, you can do that. Okay? If you don't, that's also fine. But in short, I'm just going to dimension this to be 3 because 3 and 3 gets me to 6. And I think that is easier math, but if you did this a different way, that is also fine, right? um, Overall, I think I like all my dimensions here. That's 6, that's 39.2. Let's see what we got, right? So I'm going to call this revolve sketch because it's very easy to get confused later, right? Revolve sketch, hit the green check. Okay, now we're going to take this, we're going to spin this around this line, right? Now I have my overall spin, right? My overall hole. Okay, so what else has to be done? We are going to take a sketch on one side or the other. Doesn't actually matter. We're going to find the center right here. Okay, so if we go all the way out, we know that the thickest is 6, which makes sense, right? And what you're also going to realize is that we want this hole that we're about to cut to be 3. Okay, you're going to find that it's really hard to tell when you remove this, okay, how far is too far, but you do not want that closed. You want there to be plastic right there so you can insert your wheel and push it all the way in. Okay, depending on your manufacturer, it's going to have different dimensions, but that, ladies and gentlemen, and boys, girls, everyone, is your wheel. Hopefully this video helps. I know revolve can be tricky, but keep doing what you're doing. You'll be surprised at what you're able to create. You also are going to want to make this PLA plastic and also probably make it black. I don't love making things black in Onshape because it's so dark, but that is definitely what you have here, right? PLA, we got to go in the Onshape library and do PLA. PLA, there it is, and there we go. Hopefully this makes sense. Please let me know what questions you have.